Georgia's governor also relented and issued a statewide order after the southwestern part of the state was identified as a national hotspot. And get this, in a stunning admission, Governor Brian Kemp says he only just learned that asymptomatic people can transmit the virus.
I think it's the reason I'm taking this action. Just like I've continued to tell people, I'm following the data, I'm following the advice of Dr. Toomey. Her and I both mentioned in our remarks, finding out that this virus is now transmitting before people see signs. So what we've been telling people from directives from the CDC for weeks now, that if you start feeling bad, stay home. Those individuals could have been infecting people before they ever felt bad. Well, we didn't know that until the last 24 hours. And as Dr. Toomey told me, she goes, this is a game changer for us.
My God,
Willie,
my God.
Willie, where do I begin?
I love those Morning Joe clips. They really epitomize the pearl clutching of the media. Not that this isn't insane and ridiculous. I mean, what happened, Republican governors, Florida, Georgia, and DeSantis and Kemp? I thought that you were states' rights people and you were going to take charge, but you're waiting for the federal government and Trump to give you orders now until it's the absolute last minute for you to save your constituents. It blows my mind. I actually kind of believe that this guy, Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia, didn't even know that asymptomatic people could transfer coronavirus, even though that's the bare minimum amount of knowledge that just laymen's have about COVID-19. Read one newspaper, and you would have figured that out. Or if you're so obsessed with being a sycophant to Donald Trump, just listen to the people that work for him and have listened one time in the last 2 months. It may have been a game changer, referring to what Kemp said, but it was a game changer weeks or even months ago. That's when health officials started emphasizing that asymptomatic people are transmitting the coronavirus. The idea that Kemp didn't know this is striking, but he's merely the latest top politician to indicate he's unfamiliar with the science, even as he's making life or death decisions for his constituents. Anthony S. Fauci, a lead member of the White House Coronavirus Task Force, was talking about asymptomatic transmission more than 2 months ago. January 31st, Fauci was saying that asymptomatic people could transfer the coronavirus. February, throughout, Fauci was saying it. Again, this is Trump's people. So not the scientists that you hate, not the Democrats, Trump people. March 1st, CDC issuing guidelines saying that asymptomatic people can transfer the coronavirus. What world are you living in? But that's how thick-skulled they are, how easily they dismiss science, how little they care, it doesn't penetrate. They are aggressively, not just skeptical, but repellent of facts of science. It's antithetical to their identity. It makes them anxious and nervous. So he just rejected it, right? Because it doesn't align with his current way of thinking about the world. That's what defines conservatism. Fear of the new, fear of the unknown, right? And it just shows how little his intellectual curiosity extends. Because even though he's ruling over millions of people, even though he's their elected governor, he didn't have the intellectual curiosity to look at one article, one New York Times piece, whatever, one Washington Examiner, read your conservative paper, I don't care. But you would know if you just looked once that asymptomatic people could transfer the coronavirus. And this is the person who's elected to serve people. But he's that disinterested in collecting and cultivating the knowledge that would help him best serve those people that he's just finding out now. Embarrassing. He's also an idiot, that's obvious, but he's also a terrible representative because that's how little he cared to figure out how he could help Georgians.